Sabbatical day number 35. I probably should say it's recording number 35 as I'm going through this. If you notice, some days I skip, and that's for a good reason. And then I'll do little bonus things to fill in. So I'm going to say we're going to go in series of, it may be more than 35 days, but today is my 35th recording. And although I will say that I still am trying the microphone, I'm just not using the funny little top. It reminds me of a, what are those in London? Anyhow, I'm not using that. We'll see how it sounds. And I am sitting here, and I tried to get it up a little bit so you could see it and then not have it be blinding. But if you notice over here, it's, I believe the stratosphere is over there. So now you know where I am. I'm sitting in an office of my co-researcher, my co-authors, and doing a little bit of work on campus, which always feels so good. The campus here has an aliveness to it, and so that also feels good, and is busy with students, with faculty, and and it's starting to get really windy. There are two things that I'm going to bring up today. Is remember about romanticizing in your past. Well, yeah, I have not forgotten about the wind, but you do forget that it comes up kind of fast, furious, and it's hot. It's warm. And thank heavens, because I was having a conversation on driving here, how I no longer like and will not drive in snow and ice. That is just not my forte anymore, and because I've been out of it for many, many years. I mean, holy moly, been out of it for probably 30 years, by choice. Life is about choices. Today, though, so I wanted to talk about romanticizing how great it was and then forgetting about the wind. But number two is, I read something that really sparked me to think about as we go through, this is the Soulful Trek side of it, is as we go through that, being genuine. What does that mean to you? How do you define that? And I really started thinking about it. Then I started thinking about, well, what's the difference between being a genuine person and being authentic? And then how do we tie that into like a journey and to figure out more about yourself? Well, I can tell you this, genuine has to do with your self-reflection. It is where you do look back and you say, what are your beliefs? And you start saying, do I believe in those? And being honest with yourself, being in that space. I talked about that safe space. Again, wherever that would be. And then being authentic, it's where you then engage, knowing that and doing a reflection and then living that life. Does that make sense? So being your genuine person. So now that I reflect, because that's part of transformation theory, and Misro is important to bring in here because that's your beliefs. So at one point I said this about sitting at my desk and figuring out the authentic me. However, was that really digging into being genuine and figuring out the genuine me? So now I've got to dig into that a little bit further on the Soulful Trek side as we transform our views and what we think and how we use that, and you know, how we heal from that. But basically, it's if we don't know and we don't start looking within, we most certainly can't authentically, which is your views, and then living the views, change. So I hope that makes sense. I'm happy today that it is just a nice day other than the wind. It's still a little bit warm, and that's okay because it's going to get to be really, really fallish tomorrow and the following days. I mean, in the 70s, maybe even in the evening in the 50s. That's crazy. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of the day and enjoy my time here and take it all in and see if it shifts my perspective. That becomes then my authentic self. And so with that, much love, and think of genuine, then reflect on that. Think on your authentic self and how you're going to live as your authentic self once that genuine self pops in. Okay, much love.